Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are doing well and you are following the classes properly. And today we'll be finishing our second last chapter, that is synthetic fibers in plastic. So, 2 to 3 pages were remaining. We will complete it, and question answers I've given you. So, you need to copy those question answers in your classwork copy. But no need to copy this explanation part in your copy, right? Let's get started and finish the chapter quickly. So the topic today is synthetic plastics, and we are probably passing through the plastic age only because a lot of plastics are in use nowadays, and we are trying our best to avoid using plastic. So we can say that this is the plastic age. Almost everything around us is made up of one or the other kind of plastic class, huh? And so here we will discuss some commonly used materials, plastic materials. So first we will see what are synthetic material or what are plastic. Okay. Plastics are synthetic material which can be easily molded into any desired shape on heating. So on heating, any synthetic material which can be molded in the sense which can be set into any desired shape, those are called a plastic. And plastics are actually nothing but they are synthetic, or you can say man-made polymers. Okay, polymers we have studied in our previous class, that long unit of chain. Okay, they are the polymers. And some common plastics which we are going to study are bakelite, then there is nylon. Okay, then there is terylene and polythene and polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC. So these are some common plastics which we are going to study today. Also, plastics are polymers, I told you, which are made from small molecules. Small molecules when joined together they form polymers, and that is why they are known as plastic. And different plastics, they have different arrangement of molecule. All these plastic, bakelite, terylene, polyvinyl chloride, these all have different arrangement, and that is why the names are also different. In this case, in the case of different arrangement class, we will see two types of arrangement. First is the polymers in which smaller molecules are linked to each other in linear, that is linear in the sense straight arrangement, and they are called linear polymers. As you can see, the structure over here, this diagram over here, which is showing the arrangement of smaller molecules in linear polymer, that is one molecule, two molecule, three molecule, these all are joined by a bond and they are forming a linear, that is straight chain polymer. Okay. And when we talk about cross-linked polymer, that means the polymer in which smaller molecules are linked in such a way that all linear chains are also linked to each other. That means we are forming a linear chain. These are one linear chain, this is another linear chain, this is the third linear chain, and now these linear chains are also done what, they are also linked to each other. Okay, see how they are linked to each other in this way. They are linked in this way, and they are vertical way, and then in horizontal way also. So they are called cross linked polymers, as you can see the structure over here. So two types of polymer according to the arrangement we have seen. Next, coming on to different kinds of plastic. Synthetic, why we are saying synthetic plastic? Because they are man-made. So we are saying synthetic plastics. Plastics are of two types, which is very much important class. First is thermoplastic. Okay. So what is thermoplastic? You must have seen toys. Okay. You must have seen toys, combs, various types of containers and pipes which can be, which when heated can get softened and can be molded, that is can be set repeatedly in a desired shape. We can change the shape of those materials by heating. Okay, so they are actually thermoplastic. The toys which are manufactured, the combs, the various types of containers and the pipes, they all are thermoplastic because plastic which can be softened on heating and molded repeatedly in the desired shape, they are called the thermoplastic, right? So the examples I have told you already. These are the examples. Coming to the second type of synthetic plastic, that is the thermosetting plastic, right. Now thermosetting plastics are which one? Which are suitable for making electrical switches, the floor tile, the kitchenware, handle of our pressure cooker, you must have seen. So they are the thermosetting plastic. So what are they? The plastic substance which once molded, okay, which once set into any shape, which is once set into a certain shape, cannot be softened or melted on reheating. So if you reheat them repeatedly also, they cannot be molded into any other shape, unlike the thermoplastic. So thermosetting plastics are those. So we can say that thermosetting plastics can be processed only once. That means it can be made into certain shape only once and cannot be reprocessed. And why this is happening, this reprocess, it cannot be reprocessed because as they are forming the cross link between them, the adjacent polymer chains on heating, it is very difficult for them to break the cross linking chains every time and form a different shape and take a different shape. That is why they cannot be reprocessed. What are the examples? We will see the examples. Bakelite, there are many things which are made from bakelite. I will give you examples later on. There are melamine, there is formaldehyde. These are the common thermosetting plastic. And thermosetting plastics, I told you, are used for making electrical wires, okay, electrical switches, floor tiles, kitchenware, and handles of our pressure cooker. So here a brief difference between the thermosetting plastics and the thermoplastics are given. So you need to go through this difference between, okay class. So you need to go through this. We will move on to studying some common synthetic plastics along with their uses. So first we will see polythene. Polythene or polyethylene, as the name suggests. Why they are named so? Because polythene is obtained, or polyethylene is obtained from ethylene, okay, or we can say ethylene. Okay, these ethylene, these are the carbon containing compounds which are under high temperature, high pressure, and in the presence of a catalyst. Why a catalyst is required? Because this catalyst will enhance the reaction. Okay, they enhance the reaction. Any reaction, whenever a catalyst is added, it enhances the reaction. So speeden up, to fasten up the reaction, catalyst is given. So ethylene under high temperature and pressure, and in the presence of catalyst, what is obtained from it? Polyethylene. Okay, that is polythene, polymer plus ethylene. Okay, now what are the properties? Polythene is a thermoplastic. As I told you, thermoplastics are which one? Thermoplastics are basically which can be molded, which can be set again and again. So polythenes are basically thermoplastic, so it can be molded into any shape and in number of times, and that is why always we are storing the plastics so that we can give it to, there are some particular whenever the garbage van comes, right, we are supposed to submit the plastics in a different container, so that later on they can be able to mold them into any other shape and or for any number of times. Okay, in many countries these facilities are provided, right. Then polythene is a whitish translucent material. It is lightweight and can be transported easily. It is unbreakable, corrosion resistant, and tough and flexible. These are few properties which are very easy, and you will be able to understand all of them. It is not affected by acids, alkalis, and most organic solvents, and it is an insulator. Why insulator? Because it does not allow electricity to flow through it. Okay, and also polythene does not absorb water, we know, so it is impermeable to water, right. And what are the uses? You need to know that for making sheets, sachets for packing, for making containers for storing water, oil, and other material, for making pipes for transporting water and other liquids, and for waterproofing also, because as they cannot absorb water, so waterproofing for this polythenes are used. Next we'll come to polyvinyl chloride. So what is polyvinyl chloride? That is PVC. It is also a thermoplastic and it is basically obtained by the polymerization. What do we mean by polymerization? That is long subunits or long unit of chain formation of vinyl chloride. So vinyl chloride is a compound which when vinyl chloride when polymerizes, that is forms chain like structure, then then polyvinyl chloride is obtained from it. And PVC, they are tougher than polyethylene, okay, because PVC pipe you must have seen, there are so many ads in TV also, PVC pipe, so they are very much tougher and they are used for the manufacture of raincoat, for handbag, plastic doll, bathroom curtain, etc., for manufacturing floor and floor ceiling tiles. Also it acts as an insulation cover in electrical wires and cables, you can see, and also for making shoe soles and shoes and pipes. So they are thermoplastic. They are obtained by the polymerization of vinyl chloride and it is tougher than polythene. Next, moving on to polystyrene. Polystyrene is a third kind of synthetic plastic which is obtained from the monomer styrene. Okay, so monomer styrene also a carbon containing compound. This styrene gives rise to polystyrene. When it is polymerized, then it will form poly plus styrene, that is polystyrene, and it is also a thermoplastic. It is lighter than polythene class. Okay, and it is highly transparent polymer. You can see the picture over here. These transparent material polymers, they are polystyrene. They are used for making hot drink cups, the toys, the household articles. As safe packaging material they are also used, and for making thermocol also, that is styrofoam, and for insulating material also. All those which are thermoplastic, they can be used as insulating material. Moving on to the fourth synthetic plastic, they are acrylic or perspex. Okay, acrylic, or another name is perspex. What are the property of it? It is a highly transparent plastic resembling glass. It is soft and can be scratched, and it dissolves in organic solvents. Right, they can be dissolved in organic solvents. What are their uses? Used for making lenses, aircraft window screws, for making paints. Acrylic is used for making paints. And then next comes the Teflon. Now Teflon is also a type of synthetic plastic which is a polymer of tetrafluoroethylene. Okay, tetrafluoroethylene is a compound which when joins and forms long chain, Teflon material or plastic is obtained, and it is quite inert. That means inert in the sense that no whenever you add any chemical with Teflon, they do not react, it doesn't has any effect. Okay, so they are very stable, and they have very high melting point. They have very low coefficient of friction is very less in case of Teflon. It is used for making non-stick cookwares and tapes, and in chemical industry as corrosion proof coating, right? And then there is bakelite. Bakelite is a thermosetting polymer, the first polymer which is thermosetting. So once set into a shape, bakelite does not melt, soften, and retains its original shape what it was. Actually it doesn't mold, and it is obtained by reacting phenol with formaldehyde. So so a chemical reaction takes place. Phenol, okay, it reacts with formaldehyde and aldehyde. It reacts with formaldehyde in the presence of a catalyst which will fasten the reaction, and then bakelite is produced. So bakelite are hard and very much stiff and acts as an insulator. Okay, what are the uses? Bakelites are used for making electrical switches and plugs at our homes, right? For making gear wheels and tabletop laminate, also for making combs, fountain pen bodies, phonograph records. So they are, you can understand, they are hard and stiff. So those are bakelite. And the last thermosetting polymer or an example of synthetic plastic is melamine. So melamine, they are hard and high polish polymer. Okay, it is used for making unbreakable dinnerware, our kitchen set, dinner set, and decorative objectives, they are made up of melamine only, right? Now class, coming on to plastic, why do we choose plastic as a material of choice? right? We use buckets, we use plastic tub, plastic mug, container, so on. And why? Because first of all, plastics are lightweight. So it is very lighter in weight as compared to any other material, wood and metal, and that is why we use plastics as plastic as any substance. Plastics are durable and very much strong, so that is why also we use plastic, right? In compared to any other materials or any other metals. Then coming to insulating property, all the examples which we studied, they showed that plastics can serve as a very good insulating property. Okay, so they do not allow heat and electricity to flow through them, and that is why electric wires, cables, they are covered with any suitable plastic. Handles of pressure cooker, frying pan, they are all made up of thermosetting plastic, right? Plastics are non-reactive also. As I told you, they are not affected by water, air and soil. They are non-biodegradable. They do not get corroded easily. We can recycle them. So plastics are non-reactive. Appearance and workability, most plastics, like except some, that is bakelite and melamine, except them all other are transparent and translucent, and they can be colored in any color and be given any shape. And the most affordable property is plastics are cheaper than any other metal. That is why. Now class, we also know that despite being used by people widely, plastics have a very harmful effect on our environment. Okay. Why? Because if we do not treat or dispose these plastics properly, they will pile up around us and they will create a lot of problem. So there are two type of substances. First, which one get the substances which get decomposed into harmless substance, and through natural processes, like bacterial action when takes place over a period of time. So biodegradable substances are one, right? Like kitchen waste biodegrade, leftover food, paper, cotton, they are biodegradable substances. But there are some substances which do not decompose to harmless substance through any action, and what happens, they pile up over a period of time. So they are known as non biodegradable substances, and plastic comes under this only. So plastics are non-biodegradable substances or the synthetic material. These thus material or things made from such substances, they do not get decomposed if buried under the soil or left on the earth's surface exposed to air and water. We use shopping bags made from synthetic plastics for carrying good, but that is not good. Okay, because whenever we throw them out, they do not dispose easily, and then they will cause environmental problems, such as what are the environmental problems that they will cause? They will cause soil pollution, they will cause blockage of drains and sewer lines, death of animals who happen to chew these bags, and reduces the percolation of water because they do not absorb water. Okay, so they will reduce the percolation of water into the soil. So these are the harmful effects on environment when plastic bags are not disposed properly. Also, how to minimize the damage to the environment by plastic? First, avoid using things made of plastics if we can. We will use shopping bags made of jute cotton, okay, in place of plastic bag. We will recycle the plastic scientifically, and we will not throw plastic bags in the water bodies and in the open. There are 4R formula class. This you need to remember. 4 capital R formula is there to minimize damage to the environment by plastic. What are they? 4R. First is to reduce the use of plastic. Second is, if not possible, we will reuse the plastic. Then, or we can recycle the plastic, and the last one is recover them again properly from wherever we can find it, and again we will use the method of 4R. I hope you were able to understand these 4R properly, because there are questions which comes from this, and this 4R very much important, that is to reduce, reuse, recycle and recover plastic. And plastics, you know, are causing such a threat to human being and animals which are living around us, and aquatic plants also. So the plastic topic is very much important. You need to go through them, and wherever you have any query, you will contact me. You know how to reach me, right? Go through the chapter properly. We have completed this chapter. Next week we will start with the new chapter, and that is our last chapter. So properly manage all the files and folders of whatever datas and whatever study materials are given to you class. This is very much important. Okay, we will require them for our future use, right? Stay safe, take care of yourself and stay at home. Thank you.